Hey guys, it's Dr. Sam Robbins. Today I'm going to do a video about TRT, testosterone replacement therapy. I know you guys asked a lot about it. Basically using testosterone if your testosterone levels are too low. I'll talk about the different kinds, where to do it, how to do it, what not to do, pros and cons, blah, 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 all that good stuff. It's going to be off the top of my head. Hopefully I won't forget anything and I won't keep ranting on. All right. So testosterone replacement therapy, normally if your levels get below, in America at least, levels are between 250 to maybe 1,000. Sometimes if you get on a very low end, the doctor will say, hey, your testosterone's low, we should put you on testosterone. These days, everyone's doing it, or a lot of people are doing it. Why? Because clinics, hormone replacement therapy clinics and testosterone replacement, all that stuff, they make a lot of money. I mean, the profit margin is insane. And the thing is, once you start, you don't stop. So that's the biggest negative. And I'll tell you about that all in a minute. So basically testosterone in America comes in testosterone cypionate. It comes in something like this, basically 10 ml vials, testosterone cypionate 200 per ml. There's another one, right? And then you have single use vial ones. This is just 1 ml. You can see it, right? So you have 10 mLs and then 1 ml. And then in other countries, they have it in amps, such as testosterone enanthate versus testosterone cypionate in America. It's pretty much the same thing. The difference is in America, 200 milligrams of cypionate and enanthate or sustanon is 250 milligrams per ml. But everywhere other than America, they use enanthate. Here in America, they use cypionate. All right, for trademark reasons, but who cares about that? So there you have it. As far as the total dose that you would need, depends on where your levels are. Just think your body makes around 7 to 10 milligrams a day, 7 to 10 milligrams a day. So multiply that by 7 days, you're making roughly 70 to 100 milligrams of testosterone a week. So they do 100 milligrams of testosterone cypionate with the weight of the ester. You added the 100 milligrams, you end up using roughly 70 milligrams. Hence, roughly the dose is 100 milligrams a week. Unfortunately, these days, doctors are giving people a lot more, 200 milligrams. Some people are taking 300 milligrams. In fact, a very, very well-known doctor here in Santa Monica area that knows a lot of people, my cousin went to him and he gave him 300 milligrams a week. That's his TRT. I'm like, that's like a real cycle. All right, so you can also take the cream as well. So keep that in mind. And then you can also do pellets. Pellets, basically, they put these little baby pellets like size of a rice, and they put a bunch in like your outer butt in the fat area and so forth, right? So that's basically different ways to do it. What's the best method? I still say whether topical, maybe depends on how some people absorb it, but the injection is the best way. By the way, disclaimer, don't do anything I'm telling you. This is for entertainment purposes. Only speak to your doctor. Your doctor knows everything. Don't live, breathe, eat, sleep, or do anything until you speak to your doctor. Okay, so dosages would roughly be 100 milligrams a week. I told you a lot of people end up doing more these days, and it's like sports TRT, or it's basically a little baby cycle for steroid cycle. So, all right. So what will you feel as far as where to inject? You typically do it in the muscle, right? The butt muscle, outer butt. Sometimes you do it in your shoulder muscles, and then you can do it also in your quadriceps, right? As far as the typical dose, when I said 100 milligrams, you would ideally split it up, maybe twice or 3 times a week. A little bit more often is better. I know a lot of guys are doing it sub-Q these days in the fat. It's really not designed for that. It is more, designed for intramuscular, which is in the muscle. A little bit, you can use a big needle, right? Or typically you can just use a little insulin needle. This is 1 ml. This is 200 milligrams if you were going to do it. It's little, you just need a little bit. So all that seems pretty good. The biggest problem is, again, once you start, you don't stop. I'll tell you that more in a minute. But how will you feel when you start taking it? Well, you're going to feel amazing right away. The first couple of weeks, right on, man. Your sex drive is up, your mood is better, your drive is better, you just have more energy, your mind, everything is awesome, right? Maybe you sleep a little bit off because you do have more energy, but who cares? But the problem is right around 2 weeks, there's a negative feedback loop, okay? And basically hypothalamus, pituitary, testicles, yada, yada, they shut down, right? Because your body's like, hey, I'm getting all this extra stuff. I don't need to make any more on my own. Now, you might be thinking, well, I wasn't making that much to begin with. Nevertheless, you're still making. Even if you only have 200 nanograms per deciliter and ideal is 600 to 700, 800, 900, you still have some. What happens though after 2 weeks, all of a sudden, hey, doc, I don't feel the good stuff as much anymore. It's because your body adapted. It shut down its own. So before you were adding testosterone on top of your own, right now, you're just going to basically, it's going to come back down. It's still going to be better than it was before, but you're going to lose some of that, okay? And things get back to normal. It's still good, no problem. Right, so that's the good part and a little bit of the negative. The problem is now start the side effects. I'm not saying everyone gets them, all right? Genetics play a huge role, okay? Some people take testosterone or any steroid, but we're talking about testosterone. Even at TRT dosages, you might get zits. People are prone to zits. Even as an adult, you'll get them, okay? Hair loss. Hair loss is going to happen. Now, it's going to accelerate hair loss. That is for sure. Now, a very small minority of people will never lose their hair. Okay, but even the best bodybuilders like Jay Cutler, who had an amazing full head of hair, nowadays he's balding, he's got transplants. Okay, so you will accelerate hair loss. Even a friend of mine, his dad, at age 70, he still had a full head of hair, like maybe a Norwood too, like a little bit receding on the side. He started taking 𝗧𝗲𝗀𝘀, which is 250 milligrams, like once a month. It wasn't even that big a dose. He said like after 3 months, he started losing a ton of hair. So this is a guy at age 70 who had hair his entire life. Basically, you would think he's never going to lose it. If he hasn't lost it at age 70, he's never going to lose it. And at age 70, 71, he started losing his hair because of testosterone. Why? Maybe because genetically his testosterone levels were always low, so he didn't have any problems. And at the same time, he started having prostate issues. So why is this happening? Well, testosterone converts primarily to two main hormones, gets converted to estrogen, different estrogens, estriol, and estradiol. Estradiol is a big one, as well as dihydrotestosterone, DHT. So what does the estrogen do? It gives you man boobs, okay? If you're already prone to it, if you're already overweight, you already have excess body fat, you're already gonna have higher estrogen. As you get older, you have more aromatase enzyme, so you adding testosterone will exacerbate that. Even though the ratio will be better, some people just convert a lot to estrogen. So you have to be mindful of that. What does estrogen do? Estrogen's got a lot of negative effects. It's going to cause body fat, your mood, your emotions. You start to get crying, you get moody. You're going to have the 𝗧𝗲𝗀𝗀𝗃, which is called bitch tits. You're going to have more fat. Okay, I'm not saying everyone gets this. So what does a doctor do? They'll put you on an aromatase inhibitor, such as Arimidex is the main one. You can also have Femara or Aromacin. But Arimidex is the main one. Typically, they end up giving you a very high dose, which isn't good because now your estrogen becomes too low. Too low of estrogen is worse than too high of estrogen. Both are bad. So it's very hard to find a smart doctor who cares, keyword cares, is willing to put in the time and keep asking you questions and keep doing blood test after blood test and doesn't care about how much money they're making prescribing you all these different drugs. So you only need minor amounts like micrograms of Arimidex. But lots of people, I know this guy's taking 0.5 milligram 3 times a week. That's a lot when you're only taking 100 milligrams of testosterone. Sorry if I'm going real quick. I don't want to waste anyone's time. So estrogen is one big issue. And yes, estrogen exacerbates prostate. Estrogen also exacerbates hair loss. High levels of estrogen, okay? Estrogen plus testosterone is not good. Low testosterone and high estrogen for women, it's fine. But for guys, both of those being high isn't good. In fact, estrogen can cause anger. You think, what? Yeah, estrogen is one cause of anger. So what else does testosterone convert to? It converts also to, you've heard of it probably, DHT or dihydrotestosterone. That's a lot more potent than, it's a potent androgen, meaning it has all the main side effects of testosterone. It's not anabolic, meaning it doesn't build muscle, but it does bind a lot more heavily to your skin and prostate, meaning you start to get like back hair and things like that. Hair loss happens and, and so on and so forth. And it also can cause prostate, and it does cause prostate. Now, guess what? Testosterone converting to estrogen and DHT, by the way, they convert through aromatase enzyme and 5-alpha reductase enzyme. So as both of these enzymes also get higher and higher and higher as you get older and older and older. That's why almost like when you're young, it's the best. You don't get any of the side effects. But after the age of 35 and 40 and 50, for sure, those enzymes are higher. So now when you take testosterone, which is like revenue, it converts a lot more to an expense, a negative liability, which is estrogen and DHT, which then causes all these other negative side effects. So then maybe a TRT doctor will put you on Propecia, right? 5-alpha reductase inhibitor, Proscar, maybe even Avodart. Again, now that stuff crushes your DHT, and now you become impotent. Not good. So there's this fine balance of hormones, and nobody knows how your body's going to react because that's your genes. By the way, how you react to testosterone at age 20 is very different than how your body will react to testosterone at age 40 or 60. Basically, the older you are, the worse your body reacts. Even professional bodybuilders can do an amazing cycle of steroids at age 25 and they look awesome. Same body, same bodybuilder, same genetics, can take that same cycle at age 45. They won't respond anywhere as good. Your body doesn't work as well. Receptors aren't the same. Negative hormones end up happening, more enzymatic conversions. Again, you don't know, okay? So this is where the gamble is. You got to find a really, really smart doctor. And guess what? Most doctors are not smart. They're in it for building, making money and building a business. They're not going to sit there and talk to you about this and do your diet and exercises and all these other factors. So keep that in mind. Once you start, you have to manage all these negative conversions, which only your genetics is going to tell you. Okay, no one else is going to know until you start. That's the thing. Now, if you went through puberty and everything was awesome, you had no issues, chances are taking a little bit of testosterone won't be a problem. But again, I know guys who have got great genetics and they start taking it at age 45 and they start having all these side effects because it's maybe too much, or they took the wrong dose, they took it with the wrong stuff. In fact, another friend of mine who's taking TRT dosages, so true story again, he hits me up, he's like, hey, doctor, I won't mention him, he's got his own website, YouTube channel, I don't want to say anything negative about anyone, he's very well known, he deals with professional bodybuilders. He said, dude, my friend said, I'm impotent, man, I don't know what's going on. And I'm taking 300 milligrams of testosterone and is not taking 5-alpha reductase inhibitor, so his DHT, so his sex drive should be up, impotent. Viagra or Cialis isn't working, so guess what? He's taking injections into his penis, just to get hard. So I said, why don't you get off? He's like, I can't. When I get off, I feel like total crap. So this is when I say you have to be on it forever. Once you start, you're on it forever. Why? Because everything shuts down. The longer you're on it, the longer it shuts down. So now you're going to say, oh, it's okay, Dr. Sam. I'm going to do PCT, post-cycle therapy. I'm going to start taking some Clomid and some Nolvadex, and then I'll take HCG and FMG, blah, 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 blah. Good luck. It doesn't work the way you think. Most of the time, you're not going to get it back, okay? Especially if you weren't good to begin with. Listen, once you damage it, it's damaged. And the older you are, the harder it is to rebound. Trust me. Now you might say, how do you know, Dr. Sam? You just said you didn't take steroids. I have in the past, in my early 20s. So I can, if you guys want to know about that, let me know in the comment section. I can tell you everything I've ever taken, what I've done, and all that stuff. I'm like an expert about all this stuff because I was obsessed with hormones. I dealt with pro bodybuilders. In the late 80s and 90s, I was backstage with the Mr. Olympia doctor and Dr. Michael Kaufman. I knew all this stuff. Assistant to Dan Duchesne, author L. Ray, a lot of these guys. I was just obsessed with hormones, and I thought, how cool. And by the way, a lot of people who take steroids don't respond. What you see in the magazines or on Instagram, these guys are like hyper responders with awesome genetics. Anything they do works. They gain only muscle and they lose only fat. Assume you're not one of these people, okay? I have to learn the hard way. I'm not one of these people. I'm not a responder, don't have the good genetics for it. I got just the side effects. Again, I'll tell you more. If you guys want, give it a thumbs up and let me know in the comment section. And I will if you want. This is why I suggest you hold off on TRT as long as you can. Fix everything in your life. Fix your lifestyle, fix your sleep, fix your diet, fix your workouts, fix your stress levels, improve vitamins and nutrients and herbs. I have all this stuff before you've seen. I take AlphaViril. I've been taking that over 22 years now. That's why I created it. Okay, I wanted a natural alternative, and I've been taking it for 22 years. My testosterone is on the higher end. Estrogen and DHT is good. Everything's balanced. And it took a long time and tons of blood tests for me to figure out what works on my body, let alone someone else's. So keep all that in mind. Again, if you want to take TRT, wait. I'm not saying don't do it. It's your body, your life, your future. I can only tell you what's happened to me and hundreds of other people that I've consulted with. Awesome guys, bodybuilder guys, professional athletes, regular people, young and old, close to me, people I don't know. I've done it all, okay? Don't play. Hormones are extremely powerful, okay? It's not a joke. So wait, do everything else first, okay? Watch all my videos about improving testosterone levels, okay? You can do it. Fix all of that first. See how you feel. By the way, you can have low or medium testosterone and still feel good, okay? And you don't need to take it. Just because your blood test is low doesn't mean you need it. It's how you feel and how you look. Some people are so sensitive to testosterone that even levels of like 400 nanograms, which is kind of low, they look awesome, okay? I know guys who look way bigger and leaner than me, and their testosterone is like half as mine. I'm like, what the hell? Better genetics, they're more sensitive to the hormone. I'm not. So again, I don't have the genes. Most of us don't. We have regular genetics. Don't look at the hyper responders. Don't look at only the positive stuff, because once you start, you can't stop. Trust me. Oh, by the way, you want to have kids? Forget about it. It's going to ruin all your sperm and everything, okay? Trust me on that. So wait, leave that as the last option, okay? Please, for your own self, your own happiness, your own future. I don't want to be that I told you so guy. Learn from my mistakes and all these other people that I've known. Wait for testosterone at the very last, well, you've done everything possible, okay? I've got tons and tons of videos and articles and supplements and all that will improve, I guarantee, will improve your testosterone levels, okay? Do all that stuff, improve it, see how it is over the next few months, year, 2 years, 5 years, then save it for the last chance, because after that, there's no other option. There you have it. I hope this was helpful. Let me know what questions you have, what clarity you need. Leave your comments below. If you like this topic, let me know what else you want in the future. Sorry for the rant. Sorry if I went too quickly. Sorry if I forgot something, but again, off the top of my head. And today's a scorcher outside, so that's why I'm wearing a tank top. So there you have it.